Ever since I started building my 1968 Chevy C10, I never thought this project would come as far as it has. There's been a lot of twists and turns along the way, but they always seem to propel the truck to a new level. In this episode, there's yet another big change coming that's sure to open the door to a whole new skill set, a skill set that will completely elevate the build. Here on the channel, you guys have watched me fabricate basically this whole truck from scratch by using metal, and I've also dabbled into a little bit of fiberglass by making a custom front splitter, but I want to broaden my horizons and take this build to the next level by using carbon fiber. So the body panels on this truck are stitched up metal from the original truck that I started with, and if you haven't seen that, let me tell you, it was bad. The metal is super thin and pitted on the back sides of the body panels, and the only real way to fix these up properly would be to buy a brand new panel and then rework it from there with the new metal. Having brand new body panels shipped here in Canada would have just costed a ton of money, so that was out of the question. And having a little bit of knowledge on how to make molds, making all my body panels from scratch with carbon fiber is not only going to be a hell of a lot cooler, it's going to be insanely lighter, so it's going to be a win-win. Most people that have carbon fiber parts on their cars have like a wing, maybe a carbon fiber hood, some small aero pieces, but here on the channel I want to go all out and make every single body panel out of carbon. And what that means is that I'll have to make a mold for all the panels, and then on top of that I have to learn the process of making carbon fiber parts. So it's going to be a cool experiment, and we're going to be practicing our mold making skills in this episode. It's going to be a lot of work to get the molds prepped, but I'm up for it, and I'm going to bring you guys along for the journey, and we've got lots of work to do, so let's get at it. So along with the edges, I'm just going to cover up the hole for the tailgate latch, just so that the mold doesn't hang up and it won't give me any troubles when I'm trying to break it off. Alright, so the tailgate is primed for the final time, and honestly guys, it's looking super good. I don't see any issues whatsoever. So now it's just a matter of putting some mold release wax. So the tailgate is going to be like a test panel, and if it works out well, I think we're going to save quite a bit of weight. And of course, if I damage a panel, it'll be super easy to make a new one since I'll have all the molds. Alright, so one step at a time. Let's put some wax on the tailgate and we'll go from there. So for anyone that's never made a mold before, it's a pretty simple process. It's tedious, but it's very rewarding at the end. And the most important step, I would say, in making the mold is making sure you have enough wax. You don't want to skimp out on the wax. You'll have a lot of troubles cracking it off of your actual piece. And if you end up breaking your mold, you got to restart from square one. So spend that extra 20-30 minutes. Make sure you got enough wax. Alright, so I've applied and wiped off the wax 6 times. So you can see how slippery it is. The rag just glides right across. So that's what you want. You don't want it to stick anywhere. So I think that's going to be good to go. Alright, so I'm done laying down some fiberglass. It's about 3 layers everywhere and a little bit more in the corners. I just wanted to strengthen it in the corners just to make sure I don't break it when I'm trying to pry and breaking it loose from the mold. So overall, I'm happy with it. I didn't really get any air pockets anywhere, so it should look good, but we'll know for sure tomorrow morning when I crack this open. And it's gonna be a long night because I can't wait to see how it turns out. And if this works well, man, the truck is gonna be wicked with all the molds and when I make all the panels from scratch. Think we got it, guys. It's coming out. Oh yeah. So the mold turned out perfect. I don't see any issues whatsoever. I was mostly concerned with the letters since it would be hard to fix that in the mold, but again, flawless, so I don't think I'll have to touch this at all. So I'm very happy with how that turned out, and it's great news for the rest of the body panels on the truck. It means that I should be able to get all the rest of the panels done without a hitch. So I've been doing a lot of sanding on this quarter panel, and I've been working on the top of the rail mostly and making sure that's super straight. Now I have to block off the side marker and taillights for my mold by using some aluminum siding. So this is a piece of aluminum siding like I just mentioned, and what I'm going to do is just put the piece of siding on the back side of the quarter panel, and you can see that it fills in the hole for the light nicely. And once I have it cut to size, I'm just gonna put some tape or something to hold it on the back side for now, and I'll apply a coat of body filler and smooth out all the edges as much as I can, and that's gonna help out with the demolding process. The smoother it is, the easier it is to pop out of the mold. But before we get to that point, I'm gonna cut out all the aluminum for the side marker lights and then the tail lights, and then we'll go from there. So I got all the aluminum pieces fitted up, so I'm happy about it. And now I'm going to take off the quarter panel off the truck, and then I'll apply some body filler to the corners and the edges of the aluminum just to smooth everything out. Like I said earlier, that's going to help with the demolding process. So after that, I'll just have to sand off the body filler and touch up a few areas, just like the corner of this panel. You can see that it's very rough. So once all that is touched up, it's going to be ready for some high build primer. So as you can see, the aluminum plates did their job. I applied a coat of body filler just to smooth out the edges, and I cleaned it up a bit, but it's not quite there yet, but it's shaping up. The only issue I ran into is that this plate didn't really stick to the body fill, and my plan is to use some spray foam on the back side of the quarter panel, and then that should hold everything solid. And then I'll just apply another coat of body fill to smooth out the edges that I couldn't really sand here. So both quarter panels are done. The bodywork is just about where I need it to be. All I have to do now is apply one final coat of high build primer, and then that will take care of all the little blemishes that I did miss. But once I have him primed, I'll have to sand it with some finer grit sandpaper. And my tailgate is the same thing as well, back there in the front of the truck. And the headboard was done a while back. I just have to sand down that little bit of guide coat that I put on. And then after that, it's time to make the molds. And once I have the molds done, I'll have to install some sort of flange around the entire pieces. And then that's where the vacuum bag is going to be stuck to. So we'll go through that in a future video. So that's where I'm going to end it off in this video. I am super pumped about the composite material. I can't wait for it to get in so I can start the actual process. But we got some good progress done today, and it'll be a nice head start for when I do get it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.